you ladies that are here. And I just wanted to say a little bit of the background of the books. And really, I spoke to Dr. Stanko last year around this time because I was thinking about the conference of this year and I wanted to invite him to come. I don't know how we managed to start communicating, but we were on the phone. And then he said, oh, you should try to write a book. I want to do a duet. And I thought, well, he can't sing. I didn't know if he was asking me to sing with him.
I can't jump either, but you know what?
Now, white men can't jump. Anyway, he said to me, well, we can get started on the book in January, February, and if we work it right, we should be able to launch it at next year's conference. And I nearly swallowed my tongue, because that's a commitment. And if I made that commitment, that means I would have to do it. And if I didn't do it, then somebody would know I hadn't done it because I've actually said it out loud. But it's been an amazing journey. Writing the book, it took us back into the past and it helped us to rekindle what was a very good relationship. But because of different things, missions going in different areas, then we weren't seeing each other as much as we were before. But we literally collaborated on the book, and as a publisher, he made it so easy for me. The hard parts was when he would send the transcripts and I would have to read through them and make changes and stuff like that. By the end of it, I was so glad it was over. So if you're writing a book, only do a few chapters because it will get on your last nerve. But the book actually highlighted some of the key moments in my purpose journey and a lot of the lessons that I've learned, and they're chronicled there for you to read. So I know all of you that are here right now will have a copy of the book and you'll be able to read about the difference that having a disc profile made in my life, how I began focusing on purpose. And one of the times, Dr. Stanko actually sent for me to go to Texas. And I traveled to Texas with him where he was doing a Purpose Quest seminar. I don't know if you still do those.
Every now and then.
But it was amazing because it was almost like a college course with homework and reading and writing that you had to do. And it really helped me to zone in on purpose, because for 30 odd years I did not know, and I think I said that this morning, I didn't know that there was a specific purpose attached to my life. I thought that I was so insignificant that it was likely that God didn't even know I was on the planet. So when he started to teach about purpose and the fact that we were here deliberately, that there were things that only we could do, that just totally blew my mind. It actually brought tears to my eyes, and I promise you, I literally cried to know that God was aware of me. And from that time, the trajectory of my life has changed. I've moved into different orbits, and I feel that I'm about to move into a new orbit again. And I believe I will be writing more. I didn't think I was a natural book writer. I write articles all the time. I write short pieces. And sometimes I read them back and I think, oh, who wrote this? Then I look and it's my name at the bottom and I'm thinking, wow. But I really feel that this is a hand in my back, pushing me to do more. And I would really like to write fiction. And nobody cheered, but that's okay. Because some truths you can only display in a fictitious setting. And I think that's what I would really, really like to do. So I'm not promising I'm going to write 5 books next year, but I am going to put myself down. I'm putting myself out there. Put me in coach for at least 2 books. So for next year. With the menopause book, I spoke about this book first because we actually started on this in February. And I didn't really start writing this till April, May time. But everybody who knows me knows that I've been going through the menopause, right? Okay. Because it's something that I talk about, because I find that a lot of people don't talk about it, and they act as though it's something to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. But I found that talking about it was like therapy. It helped me, and it helped the people I was talking to, whether they were men or whether they were women. So I don't know how well I have put this, the ideas together, but what I've tried to do is just to write a bit about my story, some of the things that I did to relieve the symptoms that I had, and made suggestions of how, if you're going through, and if you haven't gone through, I promise you, you will go through. Maybe not to the degree that I've been through, because the other thing I learned is everybody's different. I spoke to one lady. She had one hot flush and it was over. I mean, how unfair is that? I mean, I had a myriad of hot flushes. I mean, I could describe them. First of all, it started with the hot feet. So I had to sleep with my feet out of the bed. And then eventually it ended up with everything out of the bed. I would start off in the night clothes, and in the morning I had no night clothes. They had magically disappeared. The window that I had opened was now shut. And I would get out of bed and open it, and then I'd wake up again and it would be shut. I think the other person in the room kept shutting the window, didn't they? But I was just so hot. And the different kind of flushes, I don't know if other people have experienced those, because people don't really talk about it. But I've had explosions and implosions. I've had the surf flush, you know, where it comes from the foot upward. Like that. And everything's on fire. And even your skin is too hot. Never mind having clothes on top. You know. And then I've had the explosions where you have like an explosion from the middle. But one of the lasting things that I've been left with, one of the lasting things that I've been left with is the gravitating fat. Any fat that you have on your body anywhere gravitates to your middle. I'm not kidding. Everybody keeps telling me, oh, you've lost weight. Yes, I've lost it from one area. And it's relocated to another area. And just let me let you know that when you're in the menopause, it's the hardest thing to lose weight. Because your metabolism changes. Your energy level changes. Your activity changes because you tend to start sitting down more. You know, you get one of those chairs with wheels on and you scoot across the room instead of getting up and walking to get the remote. You know, so it's the wrong combination to be slimmed. But you can still do it. One of my goals, so I've got a lot of goals, 2 books, is to lose this ridge of fat here. If anybody wants to buy any fat. I was watching the TV last week and there was this guy, he needed some fat. But he hardly had any on his body, and I was wanting to offer myself, you know, like a liposuction it and then give it to him. But unfortunately, they didn't answer my message. Anyway, I've tried to inject some humor into the menopause book, because if you're not laughing while you're going through, I promise you, you will be crazy at the end of it. You will be, I promise you. So you need to learn to have a sense of humor. You need to learn how to laugh at yourself. You need to slow down and make sure that you don't rush. There's no way you can have a shower and get dressed straight after the shower. No way. No chance. You have to have a shower, have at least half an hour's break, and then
take another shower.
You've already taken another shower, your own sweat. You cannot rush. And the problem is, if you're married, husbands really don't understand. They just think you're being difficult, you know. And if you haven't started yet, then just listen out for this little question, okay? Is it hot in here or is it me? And that voice is coming out of your mouth. When you start asking that question, you know that you are on your menopausal journey, okay? Because it's never hot in here. It's just you. Oh my gosh. So for me, it's been a very exciting journey in a way, because I've learned a lot about myself, and I've learned to be kinder to myself. I've also learned that you have to focus on yourself, because you know, you're a young mom, you spend all your time. You said it, who was it? You said it this morning about you giving everything to everybody else, to your husband, to your children, and you really don't leave very much for yourself. But in this stage of your life, then you need to focus on yourself and be kind to yourself. And I was speaking to a doctor when I was at Revelation TV, and I was saying to her, you know, oh, no energy, because I used to wake up in the morning feeling that I had been at work with the 7 dwarfs all night. And one of their names was Itchy. I'm going to find names itchy, sweaty. I'm going to rename all the dwarfs. And I said to her, you know, I've got no energy. And she said to me, don't worry, your energy will come back. And I have to confess, I did not believe her. But I must let you know, it is true. You actually get back some energy and you start to feel almost like you're young again. Almost. It's not the same thing. But you feel almost like you are young again. And you also get almost like a renewing in your mind in the sense that now you're open for adventure. And there are no blockages because you've got no small kids at home. Your husband's busy watching football. It's all right, I don't need a glove. No, my sweat is an advantage. You learn how to use what you've been given. Oh yes, it might look painful, but I promise you, no animals are being harmed. You can mop him. Yeah, I'm fine. I look wet, I know, but I'm fine. I promise you, in a little while, I'll be so dry, I'll be asking you for cream. Anyway, enough about the book. Enough about the book. But if you read the book, you'll find some of that humor in there. I tried to put it in. Some of it I crossed out because it was too far out. And I don't think you could take it, you know. But if only you could see what was in my mind. Thank God you all can't read minds. Anyway, God is truly good, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be in this position. This is my third and fourth book. If you remember, my prayer CD and book was the first one. My purpose steps was the next one, and then the menopause arrived first, and then connected on purpose. And I really do want to express my gratitude to Dr. Stanko. Are you going to come and say anything, Dr. Stanko? Oh, okay. So you are invisible. Okay. All right then. So what we're going to do now, Pastor Alicia is going to come. She's actually going to bless all the books. So if you already have your books, just hold them up, and she'll give you instructions, and then we'll go on from there.